What's going on? You guys are watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Mitchell Renz here to walk you through the latest NFL news and rumors. We're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and whether or not he could actually potentially sit out this upcoming season. We're going to take a deep dive into Cam Newton's latest injury update. Malik Hooker, could the free agent safety be on his way to the AFC North? And we're going to round out this video with a sleeper Super Bowl team everyone needs to know about. What's the latest going on around the Green Bay Packers? Shocker alert, it's Aaron Rodgers. What's the latest on him? Pro Football Talk had an interesting take and basically broke down the idea that Aaron Rodgers could report to mandatory minicamp, but then he could ultimately just end up sitting out the entire season. We're going to rewind a little bit. How many people a few years ago remember Ezekiel Elliott showing up to mandatory minicamp and then deciding to sit out for part of the NFL season? We kind of remember that, right? Cool. So this is the idea that Pro Football Talk decided to throw out there. My only issue is this. Are we actually sure that Rodgers could ultimately sit out here in the 2021 season? Because, we get that the Packers, they don't want to move on from him. I mean, this dude literally just won the 2020 NFL MVP and had a phenomenal year. But then you talk to Rodgers, and he's already talking hey, man, I'm out of there. It was fun playing in Green Bay over the last 16 seasons. And he kind of sounds like that he is already ready to be out of Green Bay. What's really interesting about this is the Packers, they would actually gain up to $35 million in cash and cap space if he decided to sit out. So let's just hypothetically say they call his bluff. They're like, you know what, Rodgers? I don't think that you're actually going to sit out if we don't end up trading you. So for then, cool. You don't have to play, and then we're just going to gain an extra $35 million. So the reason why that I could see the Green Bay actually calling Rodgers' bluff is this. Because why would you trade him right now? Because if you trade him now, all the picks that you get are going to be in 2022, and you can't use them for this upcoming season, which is definitely why it would be smarter for the Packers to trade him after this season, and then let's say you trade him in March 2022. That way you can use the draft picks that you acquire, hopefully it's a few first-round picks, and then invest them in the 2022 NFL Draft. I get that he doesn't want to play there. I get that there's a little bit of feud going on right now, but I find it very difficult to believe that Aaron Rodgers ends up sitting down. So what I want you guys to do here at Chat Sports, I want you to be honest with me, because that's what videos are about, right? We're trying to be honest with each other. What's the percent chance Aaron Rodgers plays with the Green Bay Packers this upcoming season? I want you to think of it from 0 all the way up to 100. I'm going to go ahead and go with a 10% chance because he does sound like he wants the heck out of there. And I could technically maybe see, and if there's anybody who's very prideful in the NFL that might want to sit out, maybe it's Aaron Rodgers. However, if his agent is telling him, hey, don't end up playing this year, that would be a little bit of a questionable move considering the fact that this man did just absolutely ball out. So what do y'all think about this? Will Rodgers sit out this season? Do you think that if he's you know what, I am not going to play for the Green Bay Packers, the Packers say, cool, we'll take the money, we're not going to trade you anyway, and we don't get to see the reigning NFL MVP in 2021. And if you don't think he's going to play, Y for yes or N for no. Me, I just don't see it happening. I don't want to see it happen. Let's face it. We're spoiled right now in terms of really good quarterback play in the league. I mean, look at some of these numbers here. 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I mean, this man is the all-time touchdown to interception ratio leader. And sure, 2020 might have been, I don't want to say a bit of a fluke when you look at the last 2018 and 2019 season. He was injured in 2017. 2016 is great. From an athletic ability standpoint alone, he is regarded as, I'll say, one of the most athletic, one of the best quarterbacks that I have personally ever seen. So I just want to see Aaron Rodgers on the football field this upcoming season. If you guys love the NFL, then go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports for more free videos. I got a special offer going on here at Chat Sports for the next 365 days. The videos that you see here are going to be $0 so you better act quick or else the deal's going to be gone. But seriously, turn on your notifications. That way you guys don't miss anything. So if Aaron Rodgers does decide to sit out, if there's a crazy trade around Julio Jones, you don't end up missing it. So hit that big red button underneath those videos and turn on that subscribe button. What's the latest going on here around the New England Patriots? We're talking about quarterback Cam Newton and his injury update. He left practice on Friday early with a hand injury, so apparently he's chucking around the football a little bit and hit his right hand on a teammate's helmet. The initial reports are that it doesn't seem to be too serious. However, we don't really know the severity of the injury yet. I've never thrown a football and hit somebody's helmet, but I can't imagine it feels very good. This also kind of takes me back, I believe it was just last year. Drew Brees was throwing, ended up stubbing his thumb and missed a few weeks of the season. I'm curious to know which finger it is necessarily, but Newton was in a severe amount of pain, according to reports, and was over on the sidelines with the athletic trainers for quite some time. Anytime a quarterback gets injured, anytime whatsoever, there's going to be a lot of people watching, and that's exactly what happened, because as soon as he got hurt and started walking over there, the reports started flying out here. So he ended up watching the rest of practice from the sidelines, which, not that is even more intriguing maybe for a Patriots fan, but no disrespect to Cam. I saw him play a lot last year. Really wasn't all that great. As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, what's the latest going on with Mac Jones? What's happening with Jarrett Stidham? Don't worry, we'll get to it here in a sec. So let me know, how worried are you about Cam Newton's injury? It's early. It's June, 4th at this point. So from a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being Mitch, chill the hell out, man. I'm not worried about it at all. 10, you're absolutely freaking out. How worried are you about Cam Newton's injury? So let's look at the Patriots quarterback depth chart because, and in case you didn't know, they drafted this guy named Mac Jones in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft out of Alabama. He's going to be their quarterback too. I don't care what reports were last offseason. Oh, Jarrett Stidham, he's going to be the future. Sorry, hate to break it to you. I'm not a fortune teller, but that's not the future of the New England Patriots. So after the injury to Cam Newton, what was pretty interesting is the guy who came out and led the 7-on-7 drills was actually Mac Jones. And apparently he looked pretty good. Now, again, I never participated in 7-on-7 drills, but I imagine it's a lot easier. Guys really aren't coming after you. You can kind of sit back, pick apart the defense as you would. But then the person that led the 11-on-11 drills was Jarrett Stidham, which is now starting to beg some questions on social media and basically reports of who's going to be the backup quarterback to Cam Newton. Is it Jarrett Stidham? Is it Mac Jones? Well, instead of going that route, I'm going to ask you this question because this is the question that actually matters. Who is going to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots going into this year? I get that this is only June right now, but let's just say Cam Newton and Mac Jones had this neck-and-neck race. Could this be the advantage that Jones needs to be able to take that step and be the Week 1 starter? I'm actually going to go here and say it's still going to be Cam Newton, but there's a part of me that would love to see Mac Jones starting in Week 1. We have tons of channels here at Chat Sports, and if you don't know this already, we pump out a whole bunch of videos specifically around a bunch of the teams that y'all see over here. So sometimes you come across a Chat Sports video and you're like, wait a minute, my team's not featured. Luckily for you, there's a pretty damn good chance that there is a channel specifically for your team. We've also promised y'all this. We're going to be start launching some new channels here, so I am really excited to be able to sit here and tell all of our loyal Chat Sports watchers that we have actually just launched 6 new channels, or at least we're getting ready to start dropping new videos here. They're right in the works. We're getting really close to crossing the finish line. So if you're a Packers fan, go subscribe to the Packers Report, chatsports.com/Packers TV. Maybe Bills Mafia. We're going to break some tables. I'll tell you what, I would love to. Chatsports.com/Bills TV. Washington Football Talk. You can go get them at chatsports.com/WFT TV. You don't know how bad I want to say WTF. Saints Now, chatsports.com/Saints TV. Patriots fans, we're going to be talking probably a little bit more about Cam Newton as well. Chatsports.com/Patriots TV. Titans Today, chatsports.com/Titans TV. If you can't remember all those links, don't worry. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast. I'll put those in the comments and the description for y'all. Malik Hooker to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If that's not a headline that doesn't grab your attention, I don't know what is. That's the latest here around the Steelers and what we're going to be talking about on today's video. So the report for me and Rappaport is that Hooker, he had a visit with Pittsburgh today. No doubt that this dude is super talented and the former first overall pick. He's got a lot of experience. Well, I shouldn't actually say that. He's got good experience when he's on the field. The dude just can't stay healthy. Now, he also had a visit with the Cowboys earlier this offseason and the Miami Dolphins. The fact that both of those teams decided to let Malik go, personally to me, says that he might not be 100% healthy, which really probably shouldn't surprise anyone. He missed 14 games last season with an Achilles injury, but when you talk about games missed, that's the very first thing that usually comes up with Hooker because the talent's there. You can't deny the talent, but he missed 9 games in 2017 as a rookie, missed 2 games in 2018, missed 3 games in 2019, and missed 14 games in 2020. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start cranking out some math, and I'm just going to tell you all right now, 28 games in 4 years that this man missed. That's a lot of football games. So when he's on the field, he's talented. But if you're in an offseason and you're looking to be able to bring in a guy to your roster, can you actually rely on Hooker to play more than 10, 12 games? And you're talking about now this extra game that you're inserting into the NFL regular season. That's why somebody as talented as Malik is still out there. But if you are a team like the Steelers, who they have a good defense, and if you want to take a risk on a player who's only 25 years old, maybe this is the type of dude to go ahead and do it. So what I ended up finding here is some stats because it's really hard to be able to judge a player who's missed so many games if you just look at the numbers. Like if I told you Malik Hooker had 7 tackles last year and I tell you how many games he played, you'd be like, wow, this guy stinks. So what I wanted to do is show you his PFF grades over the last 3 seasons. So in 2020, in 70 snaps, again, it's only 70 snaps, 60.6 overall grade, 58 overall run defensive grade, coverage grade, 65.4. I want my free safeties to be able to cover, and that's what Hooker's always been able to do. In 2019, this was in 13 games, 51 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. Now, how does that translate to his pro football grades in 2019? This is in 789 snaps, 69.5 overall grade, the run defense grade of 75.3, coverage 65.6. But let's go to the year that I really wish that we could get that Hooker for the entirety of his career, because he was phenomenal in 14 games, 44 tackles, 4 PBUs, 2 INTs, 1 fumble recovery. I mean, you want to talk about some solid grades from Hooker. This is the year where you got to watch him play, and you're like, if this kid can stay healthy, he's going to be one of the best players in the entire league. So if we could go to his 2018 PFF grades, that would be really great. Because in 2019, pretty solid, but the 79.1 overall, 71.3 run defense grade, but that coverage grade, 81.6. That's what a lot of NFL teams are hoping for. However, you've seen a little bit of decline in production simply because he can't stay healthy. But as I stated before, with this defense, I mean, this is the reason why the Steelers got off to an 11-0 start. Wasn't because of Big Ben, wasn't because of James Conner, wasn't because of Juju Smith-Schuster. It's because of this defense. And if they can continue to stay elite, maybe you roll the dice and go out and sign Hooker. But what do y'all think here? Should Pittsburgh, should the silver, get your colors right, Mitch, should the yellow and black go out and sign Hooker? Type S for sign, type P for pass. What I want you guys to do is go down in the comment section and let me know if they do go out and make this move. I'm going to go out and say it's probably just got to be a 1-year deal. Should be less than $2 million personally, because if Hooker can prove it in a year that the cap's down, maybe he can make a big splash in his payday next offseason when the cap goes up. So let's hear it here. I want you to shout out a Super Bowl sleeper team. Go down in the comments section right now and do it, because producer Sam and I both, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you guys our sleeper teams here in just a second. I thought it'd be a fun little thing to do, which we normally do on our live shows here at Chat Sports. If you don't know, we go live. Remember, every single Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. We do our live shows where we break down the latest news, rumors, and interact with our fans. So when I think of sleeper teams, I think of teams not in the top 10 in terms of odds to win the Super Bowl. I got the Miami Dolphins. If Tua can turn things around and really take that next step and be great in the second year, could be a good sleeper team. The Titans, the Broncos, those are my personal favorites as well, because Julio Jones. If the Broncos can go out and get somebody like Aaron Rodgers, definitely a sleeper team. But I also want to give a shout-out to Sam, because he put together his sleeper teams as well. You got the Indianapolis Colts with Carson Wentz. I mean, who knows? We've seen him play at an MVP level. The Dallas Cowboys, to be honest, wasn't a big fan of that one. And then the Arizona Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, a good young defense there. If you want to go ahead and give Sam a follow on Twitter, you can go hit him up at SamBrownCS. Are the Tennessee Titans the top Super Bowl sleeper out there? According to Bleacher Report, they are. So when you look at the latest odds on who could win Super Bowl 56, Tennessee's odds are at plus 3,300. All I'm going to say is this. The fact that there are 15 teams ranked higher than Tennessee, that's pretty surprising to me considering the fact that this team won their division last year, went 11-5, and I actually think they have gotten better this offseason. Like, the defense is going to get better. I guarantee that. Sure, you lost Corey Davis, but, like, no disrespect, Corey. It's just Corey Davis. So what I want to be able to show you here is go through all the Super Bowl 56 odds and just show you some of the other teams that are ranked higher than Tennessee. I'm not really going to dispute any of the top 5 teams here. That doesn't really bother me. Let's go to the next 5. The LA Rams, they have Matthew Stafford. It really kind of comes down to him because that defense definitely is legit. The 49ers, Browns, the Broncos was pretty interesting to me. Maybe somebody knows something about Aaron Rodgers that I don't. The Seahawks, I thought that was a little bit low. And then you got the Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Cowboys, and then sits there the Tennessee Titans at plus 3,300. Like, I think the Titans will be better than the Cowboys. I think they'll be better than the Patriots. Sorry, Jack. Better than the Dolphins. Better than the Colts. So I really thought this was kind of disrespectful for a team that's done nothing but win over the last, 4 or 5 seasons. I mean, they haven't had a losing season since 2015. You're talking about 11-5 and then 9-7, 9-7, 9-7. I mean, there was a while there you're wondering if Jeff Fisher still coached Tennessee, but now they finally took that next step. Now they're 11-5. Plus, you got a quarterback since he's taken over for Marcus Mariota. Ryan Tannehill's been great. 3,819 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. King Henry, 378 carries, 2,027 yards, and 17 touchdowns. And I imagine that this team is going to be a lot better on defense. But let's just go out and say they're able to go out and trade for Julio Jones. I mean, that's really special because right now Tennessee has the best odds for Julio. That's why I think this team makes a lot of sense in terms of being a dark horse Super Bowl candidate. Because if you can go out on that Julio Jones with A.J. Brown, and then with that running attack that you know they're going to have, I mean, this is going to be a tough football team to stop. Plus, I love Vrabel and everything that he's been able to do. And with the fact that they were 11-5, the defense was ranked 24th last year. They're going to be a better defense. So better defense, potential with Julio Jones. Dude, I'm telling you right now, the Tennessee Titans are an absolute dark horse team, and it's really disrespectful to put them as the 15th, 16th best odds right now in the NFL to go out and win Super Bowl 56. So before I leave y'all, take a guess. Predict the Titans' record in 2021. I want you to scroll on down in the comments section and let me know.